it's Jen, and I wanted to share with you my 2015 Holy Grails. I know for a lot of you this is like your favorite video at the end of the year. It's a look back on all of my favorite products from this last year, and I've got to say, I am obsessed with these. I hope you guys enjoy watching, and let's go ahead and get started. So I wanted to start off with eyeshadows because they get me the most excited. I don't know, out of every makeup product out there, one of my most favorite things is to reach for my favorite palette of eyeshadow and just, again, perfect the same neutral look that I wear every single day. I know I'm super boring, but I know I'm not the only one. A lot of you guys out there also love your neutrals, and this has been one of my favorite neutral palettes. I believe it was actually also in my 2014 favorites, but that's how you know it's really good because I've been using it for the last 2 years and loving it. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette, the original. It's a nice range of neutral shades, but it leans a little bit warm, which really goes nicely with my medium warmer skin tone. I find that the redder and pinkier and yellower brown shades really make my eyes pop. Do I even need to mention that it smells like chocolate? I don't think so. And then a new favorite along the same lines is the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette, which this one just came out recently, but I've already been grabbing it almost every single day. If you can see, it's slightly thinner than the old version, and the little shadows are hearts, but again, it's kind of in that same vein where the colors are very warm and pinkier, redder undertones with more yellow. Plus, right now I'm really into the pink colors, which I think I've mentioned recently. So I've just been really liking how this just adds a little bit of softness to my eyeshadows. The third shadow palette I wanted to talk about is the Naked Urban Decay Smoky palette. I've always loved all of the Naked palettes, however this one's really nice because in contrast to those kind of everyday daytime palettes, this was by far my favorite for those really expressive smoky nighttime looks, and also during the fall when I just wanted a little more sparkle and depth to my eyeshadow. I have been especially obsessed with this shade right here called Armor. It's just a perfect medium warm gray with a little bit of glitter in it. Even if I wear the one color, it looks multi-dimensional, which is so easy if you're feeling not the best, because I am pregnant right now and admittedly I like a really simple routine, and this has helped me get there. For sure this year I have been loving this, especially before I got pregnant. I'm trying to be really simple with my skincare right now, but for the majority of this year, this was my go-to, especially when my skin felt extra parched, when I was feeling more paranoid about my skin aging and getting wrinkles. I feel like this helped quite a lot. This is the Kate Somerville Age Arrest Anti-Wrinkle Cream, and I just love it because it doesn't feel too greasy, but it's thick enough where you feel like it is very hydrating, and I felt like I saw a really positive improvement in my skin, plus no breakouts. So that's a fantastic in my book, plus it's also a very hygienic pump. For eye cream, this has been a long time favorite. I've tried a few other eye creams here and there, but I just can't seem to quite feel like other ones are as effective as this one. This is the Clinique Repairwear Laser Focus Wrinkle Correcting Eye Cream, and I have to say this is one of the few eye creams where I feel like it's not too watery, it's not too greasy, it's not too light, and I feel like it actually does make an improvement in fine lines and wrinkles around my eyes. I've just used it for so long, you know, you get tempted by other products, but every time I switch, I see a negative result. So when I go back to this, I'm like, oh, I took you for granted and I never will again. Thank you, Repairwear, you're doing a great job. For cleansing my skin, this has been one of my #1 lazy girl favorites. It is the GENDO Cleansing Spa Water. I like it in the cleansing water version, and I also really like it in the wipes. If there is one thing that is a high-end wipe that I could just recommend to everybody that I swear to you is worth the splurge, is the GENDO cleansing wipes. They're amazing. They get all my makeup off, even waterproof eye makeup, and it doesn't irritate my skin. It doesn't make my eyes burn. It doesn't leave a greasy film. It's just fantastic. This is the exact same formula, just in the liquid version that I'll put on a cotton pad, and on days where I just cannot I just cannot. This is what I do instead of going through my whole like triple step face washing routine. Moving on to face makeup, this is again my favorite for primers. I feel like when I've tried different ones, I'm always afraid it's going to clog up my skin or just make my foundation not really look as nice as I want it to. But every time I don't use the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer for a while and then go back to it, that day I'm always like, oh, my foundation looks so good. What I've found out recently is even when I've been using my bareMinerals foundation, it still makes it look better as well, even though it's not like a liquid foundation. So I just love this. I swear by it. It has SPF in it and it's oil free, doesn't make me break out, makes everything look great. I can't say enough good things about it. As I just mentioned, I have again been going back to my longtime favorite. I absolutely love the bareMinerals Original Foundation. I am shade Medium Beige N20. It's a little bit dark for my winter skin tone right now, so I just look a little bit more bronzy right now, but I've been using it a lot during my pregnancy just because I want to simplify what goes on my skin, and I've been just falling in love with it all over again, especially when my skin was super broken out in the first trimester. This helped so much in just not irritating anything further. My skin really improved into the second trimester, and I have to say it's because I've been making those changes. Honestly, when I end up falling asleep and taking naps with this, I feel slightly less guilty than when I'm wearing like a full face of actual foundation. If it's feeling just a little bit drier outside, this is what I reach for. This is the Jouer Matte Moisture Tint Sunscreen. So it already has SPF 15 in that, which is really nice if I don't want to put another layer of sunscreen on my skin. This is also oil free and doesn't tend to break me out. I don't use it too many days in a row because I feel like my pores do just get slightly more congested than if I'm wearing like a mineral foundation, which doesn't congest my skin at all. But I do feel like this is one of the few products which gives the most natural look and consistently looks that nice throughout the day compared to wearing a full face of foundation. Again, a lazy girl favorite when I don't want to go through the whole step of a full face of foundation, but just want to look really nice really quickly. I grabbed this. For liquid foundations, I have two favorites this year. The first is my GENDO Aqua foundation, which I don't really foresee this ever not being a favorite. I love it because, again, it just has the most natural finish. When I wear this, people compliment my skin. Coming from someone who had really bad skin issues basically her whole life, it's one of my favorite compliments to receive, and I have to give a lot of credit to this. Again, it doesn't make me break out. The color is just a really nice match for my medium skin tone. When it comes to film and photography, it is one of the most flattering foundations out there because it doesn't leave you overly flat, but it also doesn't leave you greasy either. So love it, and it is more of a medium coverage kind of foundation, so it doesn't look overly heavy. My last foundation favorite is the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. This was one I've heard about for years, that it's a really fabulous, beautiful foundation, and this is my Rockstar foundation when I want to get that really perfect full coverage on camera or special event kind of makeup where your skin just literally looks flawless. I always get a lot of compliments when I'm wearing this one. Not necessarily saying, oh, you have perfect skin, but people with this say, what foundation are you wearing? I also really love the shade. It matches my skin really perfectly. I did also wear it for several months as just my everyday foundation as well, so you can totally wear it day to day, but it can also have, like I said, that full-on, full glamour, beautiful, airbrushed, perfect skin complexion looks. For bronzers, I just had one favorite this year, and in past years I haven't really used bronzer that much, but I've been really enjoying contouring and highlighting for this past year, and I have been using the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion, and I use the shade 20M, which I feel like is a really good natural match for my skin tone. I am wearing it today just as a natural contour, and even when I wear it day to day, it doesn't look overly made up and contoured. It just makes you look better. I really do like this formula. Mine's a little dirty, so forgive me, but I really like it because it's kind of like a gel formula, so I feel like when it goes on, it's quite creamy. It doesn't look too powdery. I just think it's a really unique texture, and I've been enjoying using it every day. I love blush, and I want to say I use lots of different ones, but to be honest, this is what I use like 90% of the time. It's the Clinique Cheek Pop in Peach Pop. For some reason, I just didn't kick my orange habit from the spring of last year. I used it the entire year, all the way through summer, through fall, through winter, still use it every day. Used it today. I just think it's a nice natural look for my skin tone. Usually in the fall, I get into like a plummy pinky kick, but I only did here and there. This has been my favorite. I really love it. So if you're just kind of a one blush kind of girl, if anything, I recommend you try out the Clinique Cheek Pops. They were in my 2014 favorites too. I just love them to death because again, they have this beautiful creamy texture and it makes your skin look like it's glowing from within versus just sitting on top of your skin. Everyone knows this past year was the year of the strobe, as in everybody was highlighter crazy, and I have to say I had two standout favorites from this year. First of all, the one that I used most of this year is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Luminous Light, which looks like that. It's not overly dark or overly light, and what I like about it is it's not glittery. It just has a nice, really finely milled sheen. I'm wearing it today. I don't know if you can see it that much, but it just has a little bit of a glowy from within quality. I say the same terms over and over because it's really what I'm looking for. I don't like things that just sit on top of your skin and make it look like you're trying too hard. Sometimes when things have too much glitter or give too much of an ashy look, it kind of makes you look older than actually trying to make you look younger. And I feel like this one in particular, Luminous Light, keeps you from looking like that. It still just looks healthy and bright and glowy. So that's what I really have been loving this year. And then the second highlighter that I've been loving is the Burberry Gold Glow Fragrance Luminizing Powder. And I talked about this a lot recently because it's just a crazy, unexpected favorite for me. It looks like this, and it's kind of a dusky gold color, but on the skin, it just pops. It looks so beautiful. It doesn't look overly yellow or sallow, if you know what I mean. When it's sitting on the skin, you get a nice hint of golden sheen on top of your cheeks, and I get a lot of compliments when I wear it too. It makes me feel really beautiful, and I also like that when you buy it, it comes with this brush which can make a really concentrated line. It still looks natural, but it really makes the highlighter like really pop on top of your cheeks. So I like using that on the cheeks, on my brow bone, and right above as well to just give a little extra glisten when I turn my cheek. For face powder, my favorite has been the same favorite for the last couple of years, I think. This is the Tarte Smooth Operator Loose Powder, and I've said this a lot of times before, but I really tend to go for a translucent powder when I'm setting my foundation, because even though when you use a regular colored powder or a powder foundation on top, you feel like you get more coverage, but it usually tends to make your skin look really cakey. You can see the powder sitting on top of your skin. However, if you use the translucent powder, it just kind of melts into your skin. You don't see it sitting on top of there, and it makes you look like you have perfect skin versus, oh, you have such photogenic powder face. So this has been one of my favorites. It's a really nice balance between oil control and giving that airbrushed look. I find a lot of silica-based powders, they'll give you that airbrushed look, but sometimes you get a little shiny after a little while. But this one, because it does have some of the Amazonian clay in it, I feel like it does a good job of absorbing oils as well. So I really like this, especially in my T-zone when I'm wearing liquid foundation. And even sometimes when I'm using mineral foundation, I'll just put a little bit on my T-zone as well to just help with some of the oil control. And I feel like that makes my skin not look different than just with the foundation on. It just preserves the look for longer. For eyeliner, I've been loving my felt tip pen eyeliners, or I guess brush style, but just in a pen. And I've actually had 3 favorites. These are 2 of the 3 because my third I ran out of, but I really have used the Tattoo Kat Von D eyeliner in Trooper a lot, the EYEKO Skinny eyeliner, which has been a long time favorite quite a lot, and also the STILA Stay All Day liquid eyeliner. Those have all been fantastic choices. Right now I'm currently using the EYEKO Skinny, but I know because they pulled that from Sephora, it's a little more difficult to get a hold of. I believe you can still get it from Nordstrom and Ulta. But this is fantastic if you like a really black, bold line. The Kat Von D Tattoo eyeliner is really good if you're trying to get a really thin, precise line, but it does have a little bit more of a shine to it when you apply it. And then the Stila one is kind of a doppelganger for the EYEKO Skinny. I use them both interchangeably, really love them both. Especially if you're monolidded, try out these kinds of eyeliners because I find them to be very waterproof, very easy to use because you don't need to wash any brushes like with a gel eyeliner, and they just do a nice job of staying all day looking really black, and they are so easy to use. For mascara, I've actually had quite a lot of mascara favorites this year. However, I have to go with my most used everyday waterproof so it holds my curl mascaras, and that has to be Urban Decay's Cannonball, which I've heard that they pulled that from Sephora. It's getting way harder for people to get a hold of it. However, I know you can still get it on the Urban Decay website right now, so if you're desperate for it, there is a way. But if they discontinue this, I'm gonna cry so hard. I'm gonna beg them, please, please market a mascara just for people to hold their lash curl after they curl it, and just make the same formula. Make it for us, please. Make it for us Asian girls. And then my other favorite is a CoverGirl mascara. Again, hey, drugstore mascaras. I've loved CoverGirl waterproof mascara since like the beginning of time, back when it was Max Factor, and this is probably, I feel like it's like the same formula as my first favorite mascara ever. This is the Supersizer waterproof mascara. It's very, very black. I am wearing it today under my lashes and I really love it. It is very waterproof, you guys. So if you really desperately have a hard time having your lash hold its curl, try this one out. For eyeshadow primers, this has been my go-to. I've been using the NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base, and honestly, I really don't see that much of a difference between this and the Urban Decay Primer Potion and Too Faced Shadow Insurance. Those 3 are my favorites. I like using them all. I feel like they all do a fantastic job. Good job, all you companies, for getting really good primers. I have tried a few other eyeshadow primers that I don't think lived up to those 3, but those 3 are awesome, and this is the one I'm currently using. I like that it has a doe foot applicator because it makes it so easy to apply, and that it's not overly liquidy, so it just dries down really nicely. Grabs onto that shadow, makes everything look really beautiful. For eyebrows, I have 2 favorites, and if you guys saw my everyday super quick eyebrow routine, then you'll already know what these are, but I've been using every single day the Benefit Gimme Brow in the lighter shade, and also my Anastasia Brow Powder Duo, which I've had this one forever. The packaging has changed since, so it doesn't look exactly the same on the outside. However, it's the same stuff on the inside. I like me an ashy brown in a lighter shade, even though it's kind of lighter than my brow color. But I feel like when I add everything together, it's the nice amount of darkness without making it look like you're just staring at my eyebrows. So I've really been loving my brow routine lately, and it's a combo of these 2 every single day. And then finally for lips, I have 3 favorites. I'm gonna start with this one. This is my Cha-Cha tint from Benefit. I have a special little container meant for lips that I got in Korea, but it's just the same as the regular Cha-Cha tint packaging. I love this on my lips for an everyday, really easy, low maintenance orangey tint. And then for lipstick, I have 2 favorites, which are both very opaque, bright poppy colors. I have been loving all of the Urban Decay Matte Revolution lipsticks. This one is in Tilt. It's a bright orange, but again, I've just been loving like every single color. I just like the texture of the Urban Decay mattes because they are really, really potent. And then I've also been loving the Clinique Pop Lip Colors. They're so pigmented, they're so rich and creamy, and they have just so many beautiful colors. You don't have to like make it work. You just apply it and it's just exactly the same color that you want it to be that's on the container. This one is Cola Pop, so it's nice for a really deep vampy lip. I'm always really satisfied with it. Again, I love all the colors. So I guess that is it for this year's favorites. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, you know, I would absolutely love if you would hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to see more videos like this, then feel free to subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys a million times over for making this such an incredible year. You guys have just been so amazing and supportive, and it means so much to me, just all the way deep down in my little heart. I love you guys so much, and I hope you had an amazing year. Happy 2016, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. I just took a pregnancy test, and there are 2 lines on there, and that means that I am pregnant. So my husband Ben and I decided